Hey guys, Molden here, and a couple of days ago we had this 12-hour farming competition, and probably I lost. And ever since then I was really trying to research how could I improve my own farming efficiency, which monster power is the best, because the competition was you select or you pre-select a monster power and then you're not allowed to change this anymore. And now it comes down to the big question, which monster power is most efficient to farm? Now, I was always a fan of the lower monster powers. I thought they would be not just the best for XP, which they definitely are, but also for legendaries. But the farming competition um, showed me that it's not always that the lowest monster powers or lower monster powers don't always have to be the best. And before I tell you the results, let me show you the statistics that I gathered and obtained during the marathon. And basically, in this Excel sheet, I was tracking down which type of mob or where the legendary drops occurred. And you can see here, for example, Invis he found 45 legendaries, I found 44, and the Void found 34. So I was watching the VODs of the streams, and I was writing down every time a legendary dropped. It was a lot of effort, took me 2 hours or 3 hours. Invis also helped me a bit with it. And yeah, I was basically tracking every legendary. What did it drop? Now, Invis and the Void both played on MP10, whereas I played on MP5. And you can see by me, for example, I got trash mobs, I also got elite, 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 then again elite, 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 and so on. But if you watch, for example, Invis, you can see trash, 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 trash. And even before calculating it and counting the exact numbers, I was already knowing, okay, there's a big difference in terms of legendaries from elites and also legendaries from trash mobs. Now, I didn't count special cases like goblins or cocoons or chests, because those are really rare occurrences. But from the rest, here you can see Invis, out of 44 legendaries, he found only 9 from elites, but 35 from trash mobs. Whereas I on MP5 found 19 from elites, which has to do with me having about twice his skill speed. Like in the amount of time he did one run, I did 2, so I killed a bit more than twice the elite packs he did. My run was also a bit longer. This makes sense. Like, you also have to consider he had higher magic find, but overall, like, here it's much more important how many elites you kill. But on the trash mobs, on the other hand, I killed also like twice as many trash mobs than he did, but still he managed to get or more than 50% more legendaries from trash mobs in the same amount of time than I did. And here you can see the distribution. The other two players which played on MP10, they found 77.7% of the legendaries from trash mobs, whereas I only found 54.8% from trash mobs. And now what this tells me is only on Monster Power 1, 0, and maybe even 2, you find more legendaries from elites, but on the other, then from, you could say, Monster Power 3, 4, it's 50-50, but every Monster Power above 5, you will get most legendaries from trash mobs. And the higher you go in Monster Power, the bigger the difference will be between legendaries from trash mobs and legendaries from elites. Now, this of course also depends on which areas you're farming. For example, there are high density areas like Ariad Crater level 2, Fields of Slaughter, Keep Depths 2, but also areas like Rackers Crossing or Stoneford. And there are high elite areas, for example, like Core of Ariad, and also what comes to my mind is the Caverns of Frost in the Fields of Slaughter. Now, let me show you some proof from Blizzard, like how does the bonus, and yeah, basically this, what I just said, comes down to this here, the last row, bonus item. On MP1 you only have a 1% chance for a bonus item, and it gets more. I had a 36% chance for bonus item, but the others at MP10 had a 100% chance for bonus item. Now, how exactly does this bonus item drop work? Here we have to look at Blizzard, and Lilira was kind enough to give us some information on that. And here you can see most monsters have a roughly 30% chance to drop loot. So let's here say the white monsters have a 30% chance to drop loot. The exact percentage of course varies from type to type. For example, the scorpions in Act 3 have a lower chance, which is obvious. And yeah, when you kill a monster on MP1 or higher in Inferno, if you pass the initial roll to obtain loot, which is the 30% chance, let's say out of 100 white mobs that you kill, 30 drop an item. And then in those 30 items, or after those 30 items, you get a second roll. And the chance for this second roll is depending on your monster power. For example, on MP10, you get 30 more items then. And a few monsters are exempt from the bonus loot. I guess it's monsters like the Tormented Stingers, which also which I also identified when I was looking for all the legendaries that people got, because they got most from mobs like Soul Lashers, Icy Quillbacks, then of course also Demonic Tremors, Golgors. They all have the bonus loot. But mobs like Tormented Stingers, you know, they are in such big packs that if they would drop bonus packs, it would be totally out of control. So it probably doesn't work for them, but for most others. And yeah, this bonus drop only applies to normal monsters, not to elites. And this is the other boss, also by Lilira, and here basically she was saying that if you kill a monster by playing an MP10 and the monster makes its initial roll check to drop an item, which is a 30% chance we were talking about, but this item drop could either be gold or an actual item, so this is also something you have to consider. But yeah, then it has a 100% chance to drop a bonus item. So this means that a monster should drop at least 2 items, but it doesn't always, because in some cases it's going to be gold and then the bonus item. However, the most important thing is this here in the brackets. The bonus item will always be a piece of gear, not a potion or gold or anything else. So this means that the bonus item drops are really important, because all of them are going to be an item. All of them have a chance to be a legendary, whereas if, for example, on MP0, where I don't have any bonus loot, that 30% can be gold, can be potions, and other things as well. So now in conclusion, that's now important. What do I get out of this? Basically, people are still wondering what is the best MP now to farm legendary, and I have to say it depends. It depends on very many things. There is no best monster power for everyone. It always depends. The most important thing it depends on is the DPS. If you kill very slow and high monster powers, it's not worth. If you die a lot, it's not worth. But if you have top end gear and you are asking yourself, okay, where should I farm with top end gear? Then it still depends. It depends on your class, on your skill setup. Let me give you an example. For example, I was playing a Whirlwind Barb, and as a Whirlwind Barb you usually run really fast through the trash mobs. There is a small chance that you miss legendaries from trash mobs, so I didn't want to have 80% chance or 80% of my legendaries dropping by trash mobs, because I'm not checking all of them, and I'm also not killing all of them individually. I'm often leaving a few alone, not killing them, and just keep going so I don't lose my Wrath Berserk. Whereas the Monk and the Wizard I was playing with, they killed every single trash mob almost. Or let's stick to Barbarians. Hem of the Ancients Barbarian is killing all trash mobs. So a Hem of the Ancients Barbarians could play on higher monster powers effectively, maybe even more effectively than a Whirlwind Barb. But yeah, so it depends on many things. We're still gonna do a lot more testing. We know now what we need to test, and of course we need to increase the size of our tests. We really need to get some more data on this. For example, count, okay, how many elites did I kill before, let's say, a 10-hour competition, and then how many did I kill after on MP5 and the other guy on MP10. But we could also test this, for example, how many runs am I able to do in, or let's say everyone does the exactly same run, but one guy on MP1, one guy on MP5, one guy on MP10. And then we're gonna calculate, okay, on average, MP1 was 1.5 legendaries per run, MP5 was 2.8 legendaries per run, and MP10 MP10 was 4 legendaries per run. These are just numbers that I made up. And then we can also like calculate, okay, how long did a run take for everyone? Of course, MP10 takes the longest. And then we can see like, okay, which monster power offers us the highest legendaries per minute. And that's what it's gonna come down to. Right now I think Blizzard did a really good job in making all monster powers roughly similar. So I think it doesn't matter if you go MP5 or MP10, because let's say you have top end gear. It doesn't matter because on MP5 you kill twice as many mobs, but on MP10 you only kill half the mobs, but because of the bonus chance, the 100% bonus chance, and the additional magic find on top of it, both gonna get the same amount of legendaries in the same amount of time. And the only thing I can tell you is if you don't have good gear, for example, if you have a budget gear or something, then you should really like stick to the lower monster powers, because you lose a lot more efficiency than top gear players who can still farm the high monster powers effectively. So yeah, that was it for now. Provided some information, but obviously we need more. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back.